Hi, Travis Daggett with Cornerstone Properties. I want to talk today about apps that you can use for your house. First app to talk about, and of course this is a website as well, and it's very popular and well known, is called Zillow. People use Zillow probably the most, or what they use it for most, is just to get an idea of value on a house. We use it too just to get a very general idea of what a house is worth. They call it the Z estimate. Now, one thing to keep in mind for this Z estimate, their estimate, is all they're doing is taking properties that have been sold in a certain area, and they're figuring out how much it sold for. They're dividing that by the number of square feet, for the most part, and then they're just applying that to whatever house. So let's say that there's a $200,000 house that was 1,000 square feet. So they figure, okay, houses are selling for $200 a square foot, and then if you have a house that's 2,000 square feet, then they just put a price on it of $400,000. So simple, basic formula. Lot of variables and range in there, of course. So it's just a very general, broad starting point. The biggest factor is, of course, condition. So what they're looking at is properties that have sold, and most of the time properties that have sold are renovated, they're move-in ready, they're retail condition. So a lot of times people will look up their house, and even though it needs many repairs, renovations, updates, they're getting a value that's really as if it were fixed up, and that's not very accurate. So it just gives a really general idea of what properties in the neighborhood are going for. Biggest factor being condition, so you need to factor that in. And of course, if you want to look further, you would, and you get a more accurate value, you'd start looking at the properties that actually sold and what condition they were in and how that compares to your house. Another app or website is called Redfin. Redfin does what similar to Zillow, but they do a little bit better of a job at determining value or giving you an idea of value, because you can easily look at properties that were sold, properties that are listed for sale as well, and kind of get a sense of where your property fits in there. And another one that's just an app that's pretty helpful is called HomeSnap. HomeSnap is a great app you can use on a mobile device, and it allows you, if you're in front of any house, to take a picture of the house, and it gives you the details about the house. So it'll tell you beds, baths, when it was built, square footage, how much the previous sale was for, all that type of information. So good if you're looking for a house, or if you want to see what your house, well, what the information is about your house that other people have access to. So keep in mind what is out there on those sites too. If you're selling your house, you want to know what other people are seeing. There may be information on there that's not accurate. One of the most common is square footage is wrong. Number of beds and baths is wrong. Sometimes even year built is wrong, but most common is square footage and bed and bath because of additions that were done, and maybe they weren't permitted, maybe they were. In any case, they didn't find their way onto the county website, and the multiple listing service pulls from that website, and then Zillow and Redfin, HomeSnap, etc. pull from the multiple listing service. So people might be looking at your property and saying, okay, it says it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and they want X number of dollars. Well, that seems kind of high. Well, it's actually a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and there's more square footage, and they don't know that. So that's something that you might want to update. And sometimes even the acreage is off. So just some things to be aware of. Those are probably the most popular apps that people use, we use. Zillow, Redfin, and HomeSnap. Now, if you do have a house that you want to sell it quickly or on your timetable, and you want to just sell it as is without having to do those repairs to get that market value for it and to take that time, give us a call. That's what we do. We purchase properties as is for cash. If you have any questions, give us a call as well. Thanks, Travis Daggett with Cornerstone Properties, signing off.